This video is made in partnership with Leia Inc. Wait, what is that? It is the season. We've been doing it for about 2 months, and I want to keep it going. I want to thank you guys for watching the videos, for supporting the channel, and for overall just being awesome. So we're going to be giving away a $500 American Express gift card to any person, any human who lives on this planet. But follow this direction closely because people have been entering but not doing it. Leave a comment down below on what you would use the Lume Pad for, but be sure to leave your social handle so we can contact you. We've had so many people that we picked as winners that didn't leave it. We could not give them their prize. Don't let that be you. We'll run it for 2 weeks. All the instructions and stuff will be in the description down below. But thank you and good luck. So this is the Lume Pad from Leia Inc. And it's probably not a name you are familiar with, but I'm pretty sure you've seen their technology in more places than you realize. So you've got a really high quality screen, USB Type-C port, and it's going to feel structurally in your hand like a tablet that you're used to, but a lot of hidden things inside of there. So you might have seen like a previous video we did a while back discussing an older version of this, but there's new things in this we'll get to in a second. Before I get to that, I do want to give a brief explanation of what's going on and what it can do, because there's a lot of misconceptions about the technology. So it's called Lightfield tech inside the screen, and it sort of allows the display to create 3D images and videos without the need for 3D glasses. So I think it's important to talk about the elephant in the room, or I don't know, maybe the candle in the room, but 3D technology has not had the best start and perception in the market. We saw it years ago in phones, we've seen it in game consoles, we've seen it kind of try it in other places and TVs through then. The technology that has not found its maturity, and I don't think had found its target market. Leia is a company that's actually been behind a lot of early stage 3D tech, and they decided to sort of make a device themselves, or at least sort of their version of what the best version of 3D can look like. And any conceptions you have about 3D and what you get with this are two very different beasts. Now, fundamentally, they're similar because it's depth on a flat surface, but the way it looks to your eyes are not like any 3D that you've seen before. And it is obviously impossible to show how this looks over video. It just won't translate at all. But to give you a sort of a better real world example of what that 3D would look like if you had this tablet in your hands, take a look at this pop-up card. So there are multiple layers placed at distances from one another. When you look at it straight on, you can see additional depth, you can move it around. There's like stuff happening there. That's what this feels like when you're watching a 3D video on the Lume Pad. It feels like there are layers and separate planes to the image that not only feel like they're coming out towards you, but also going inwards and adding depth. This is what 3D is supposed to look like. Now, in all candor, it is not a perfect thing. It doesn't look like a real world three-dimensional thing, and it does take some time for your eyes to adjust to if you're looking at the screen. If you played any like older Nintendo 3DS games, you kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. But this is a much more advanced version of that. Most importantly, for a lot of people, you can adjust the intensity of the 3D effect. That's sort of you find the sweet spot for you. And for what it's supposed to do, it really does work well. All right, so back to tablet. The 2560 by 1600 screen can be switched to 2D with the toggle, which is nice. And even the 2D version looks good. Looks like you've seen a tablet. I'm not gonna talk much about that. So what's making this tablet, I think, come together is the ecosystem. Any device is only as good as the ecosystem. The iPhones are really only as good as the App Store. Android devices are only as good as sort of the Play Store. This has its own version of an ecosystem, as Leia is doing it themselves. And the cool thing is you can turn any 2D video into 3D, whether it be from YouTube or any other streaming platform, and it's appropriately called LeiaTube. So you can watch your favorite content creator, maybe this guy, in a brand new way. It's an awesome way to sort of watch beautiful 4K landscape videos, whatever content you are watching, make you feel like you are there. And also sort of made those city walking tour videos that I've kind of done because I haven't traveled in a while, a bit more enjoyable. That might be more of a personal example, but it's pretty cool how to do it. So it's really easy to do. Just open the YouTube app, hit the share button, Leia app will be there, click it, and then you've got that video, which was shot in 2D, presumably, converted to a really good sort of 3D version. So if you want to capture 3D stuff, Leia's got you covered. It's tough to remember the name, but it's called Leia Cam. Let you capture 3D HDR pictures and videos. So 60 megapixel cameras on the back combined with internal software let you turn whatever photo or video you are shooting to a pretty awesome 3D experience. You don't necessarily have to take the photos with the Lume Pad to get the 3D photos, which is helpful. You don't always have a tablet with you. You can transfer them from your iPhone, your Android, whatever, and send them to your Lume Pad using Leia Link, and then from there you can convert them to 3D. There's also a new software update coming when you can record dual 1080p at 30 frames per second, and that can be viewed and edited in the Leia Player, which is where you can view your 3D images and play back or edit existing 3D videos and stills. And there you can also convert 2D images to 3D images as well, and you can edit the amount of 3D effect for each photo, which is awesome. So if that wasn't enough for you, they've also created a social network for sharing 3D pictures and videos and generally talking about 3D called Leia Pics. It's a cool way to interact with other people who are into 3D and sharing that type of content. And like they're starting off strong in there too. They're starting off with like 100,000 3D images that you can scroll through and look through. So they're not like going the Apple Ping route when you got to sort of start from nothing. Or if you want to watch one of your favorite movies in 3D, you can do that here too with their app called Leiaflix. And here they have an absolutely huge selection of pretty popular movies and blockbusters to choose from, obviously, as you can see. And I think this is probably the best way to show off the 3D tech and what it can do. So I think the big question, and all this stuff is awesome, but like, why would I use this? Why would anybody, use the technology? And there's a lot of practical examples for it. So we're here in Southern California. Housing market is just nuts right now. It's an awesome way for realtors to sort of virtually show a buyer a space in the depth of each room. For education, medical students being able to sort of see a physical beating heart, be able to move it around and see depth, to sort of learn about anatomy and the human body is another really cool application. For kids who are looking to sort of learn about historic landmarks without actually going there, just add some extra like coolness and depth to things that maybe you wouldn't think about before. So there's a Leia App Store, obviously to download apps, and it's not a small amount of apps and games either. They already have over 100 games, over 1,200 educational apps, all 3D compatible and totally free till the end of the year. And by end of the year, I mean 2021, depending on when you're watching this, which that's awesome. And that's everything from education to games to editing and things in between. Whatever you would need that sort of utilizes 3D, they have made free until the end of the year. A bunch of other stuff in here as well inside of the Leia ecosystem. Really cool things too. Leia Viewer, you can download 3D models and images, which is really cool to have. Leia Frame, a way to turn sort of your tablet into 3D photo frame to show out pictures of your family. Leia Link, software that's going to be coming in the fall that you share from a non-Lightfield mobile device, iOS or Android, directly to the Lume Pad. And also you've got something called Leia 3D Chat, which should be coming by the end of the year, but you kind of have almost like a 3D Zoom call, which is nuts. Maybe you don't want to see yourself in 3D, but you do have that option, which is another sort of cool thing that this tablet can do. So now at this point, you're probably thinking, that's all well and good, but John, how much is this gonna cost? So normally the price is $699, which isn't terrible considering most tablets get close to that anyway. But right now you can get one for $399, which is a pretty screaming good deal. So that was a lot. There is a lot happening with this tablet. And if you take anything away from this video, let it be this is not 3D the way you've seen it before. This is not the way you thought about 3D on other devices. This is really 3D the way it's supposed to be done. And it's 3D when you want it and when you need it, and it's 2D when you don't. And you're getting a really solid 2D tablet that does amazing 3D things in an elegant package, in an affordable package, and it lets you sort of use things and teach things and learn things that maybe you never could before in a brand new way. And I'm here for new technology. And I'm also here for perfecting technology that needed to be perfected. And that's what we have with 3D. So hats off to Leia, hats off to the Lume Pad. If you want to check it out or pick one up for yourself, link to it down below.